Hello everyone, my name is Uthris and welcome back to a new episode of Banished. We are looking at the southern district here in the city, and we're going to go ahead and try and fill out this whole area today. I don't know how well it's going to turn out, obviously. You guys will find out at the end of the episode. But the overall goal for me and the southern district is that it's kind of a little bit more dock oriented because it has a bit of water. It's going to be a little bit more run down and maybe slightly industrial, with some of this space maybe reserved for more industrial type of buildings. And then just kind of run down, very dense housing districts, and then maybe even a bit of a black market dealer, I guess, in a way. It'll be a standard market, but it'll be hidden like a little alleyway, I think, in the middle in here. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't, obviously know what all I need. That's just the thing with Banished and the Mega Mod Pack. You kind of never know what your options are until you start placing things down. So, housing-wise, I went ahead and just placed these two homes here at the entrance just to kind of section it off. I was rather, I guess, indecisive on whether or not I wanted walls around the town, and I decided not to. This to me is like a 18th, 19th, maybe even 19th century-ish kind of layout in my mind. And modern towns, as I went through, didn't really have any castle walls or anything like that surrounding them, because they didn't really provide as much, right? They kind of moved everything to more forts and star forts, like off to the side of the town to protect it. So let's take a look at some of these row homes. We might do some of these and do a little bit more of the rundown version in these specific little spots. I want to try and get things overhanging the roadway as well, and I think there's a great mod for that. And sadly, there's not a whole lot of buildings in this set. But this medieval town set has some really beautiful kind of overhang structures and things that kind of interact with the roadway a lot. And so we're gonna place a couple of these, I think, first, just to get this area feeling like it's a crowded section over here, kind of like that. So we'll hit these two. These are kind of some unique buildings. We won't use them very often, I don't think. I was thinking also about using some of these village townhomes, because they use thatch generally. They still follow that Tudor style home design. And so let's grab like an end one like this, and then just put them side by side, kind of like that. And then maybe on the opposite end we'll have like a little bit more of a step up kind of thing, which could be cool. And then back to a step down over here. Okay. And these are going to have docks, and this shoreline is probably going to change dramatically, so we're going to gain some room. So I definitely want housing lining the main roads, and then kind of the back ways will be a little bit more industrial on the left side. I'm going to go ahead and hit play and just do 2 times normal speed. There is a cool item here with Colonial Charter and stuff. I think it's this grid lines item. And what this does is provide us with grid lines very visibly, so that we can measure out the area a little quicker. So we're going to try using these. I've never really used them before. It's just I know I want to use them this time. So we'll come out back. I'm going to leave What's a rule of thumb do we want to follow for like backyards and stuff? I want to leave like a gap of 2 behind most buildings on this, so we can get a little bit of an alleyway behind them. Okay, so this is the edge of the building, so we'll go out like say here, something like that, and then definitely by this kind of special unique structure we'll try and get an alleyway just to separate them out. I don't know if I like these things. They kind of get in the way of the aesthetic. They definitely help with the planning, but I don't know if that's really what I want. We might need a little bit of a storage area too. Here. Ooh. To have like a run-down kind of old barn. Maybe like right in the middle here. That could be neat. Tudor-style barn might be a little too nice looking. If we take a look, there's some good colonial homes and stuff, but these are probably a little too high class for really what I want them to be. These actually look really nice. This journeyman's house is pretty close to the aesthetic, so we might try and plop maybe a couple of them in where we can. Mainly because, again, it kind of interacts with the roadway, which will look lovely. What's all this? This is New England kind of style stuff. And this is Noe's house. This is still kind of colonial in a way. Let's check out some of the dock sets. Instead of using the wooden docks, we're going to be using quays a lot, just to kind of shore up the line, because this place is going to look a lot different than, say, the docks at this town. You know, it's still going to have this fill. By the way, I'm testing something, so this current thing is removed. So ignore that for a moment. How many nomads do we have? 98 nomads. I could dramatically increase the workforce, but I'm worried about food. So, you know, again, gotta try and slowly increase your town size. I don't want to goof that up too much, at least, right? Okay, so this is all kind of sealed off, so I'm gonna need a bit of a road. Kind of like this, I would say, to get back around there. Right? Let's check out the sets again here. So like these, I want these to be not more than 3 stories, really. If I can kind of do this. And then bump it up on the other side. That could look nice. Just for a bit of a height change, right? Be a little bit of a U-shaped building, so we need to flatten the terrain a little bit in here. Not too much, just enough to make it fit. And the shoreline, you know, we'll have to deal with that as it comes. Let's see, it was this building, right? Shoot, which shingle style did we do with this? Either one. They don't technically have to match exact, but the closer they are. So I'll do wood shingles, and if this one ends up being thatched, then at least they'll be similar in hue. Okay, looks like we bought some food just now. The canals, I still can't get them to work. They're not working. I don't know why. I tried replacing the gates with just normal canal pieces just to see if the gates were the issue, but it doesn't seem so. I just have no boats using these at all. Oh well. It is what it is. It's disappointing, but for now, at least that this area kind of looks interesting and nice. Maybe we should place the market in here real quick and go from that. I don't know if I want it covered, and I obviously don't want to use something that big. So this might have to be a little bit more wheel and deal looking. I'm actually kind of surprised there's no, like, smugglers thing. Like, specifically, right? Farm stand? Nah, that doesn't work. I mean, a couple wagons could work. In the sense that, you know, it's a mobile operation kind of deal. Or we can just use these small pieces. So we got some tools, maybe. Some textiles in here. Wood fuel. Fruits and veggies. And I think that's okay. Just having those 4 little things in here, I think is enough. I think it all lines up. So I have a bit of a plaza space back in here. And I really only want this area, for the most part, to be accessible, no, not that way. I don't want it to connect too much to the main road like that. Let's try and maybe come out 2 and then over 1, and we'll try and kind of hide it around a corner on each side. So that, you know, you have to kind of go into this back street to get back here. And I might use this gable house as a piece because it kind of overhangs. Might overhang that side street a little bit. Tell you, it's a little tough trying to find structures that you really like and adds character, but not overpowering in an area like this. No, I don't think that looks right either. This one looks okay. It's kind of properly run down enough. I don't know what this Hall of Records is. Kind of interesting. Maybe maybe it can go on that side of the little roadway. Education center, that's like a craftsman guild. No, herb, no. Small tower, house. Ooh, these are pretty good. And if I turn this sideways, at least they'll overhang a bit. Kind of like that. And what's going to happen, guys, when I finish this district, we're going to have probably a massive food shortage, which is going to be a bit of an issue. So at that point, I might have to work on some farmland out to the right, which I might do off camera. You guys have seen me build, you know, farmland in the past. In fact, this farmland is still not even really done. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Now, industry-wise, I'm not quite sure how I want to do this yet. So maybe we can start working on that. We might need like some coke ovens or something, you know? Some like really smog inducing items. You know, and if I put them back to back, kind of like that, could be a cool little design. And then I can also make them a bit longer with a ladder attachment. So it looks like people can actually get up there. And we'll have to kind of capstone it using some ramp pieces as well. We're gonna have to obviously have some really nice kind of tavern, rundown tavern feel in here too. Ropery might make some sense. It's in a dock district, maybe a cooper. Maybe build it out from this side though. So we'll do a cooper and ooh, we could do a joiner. Not only is it functional, it kind of looks like a house too. Just trying to think of the best place to put it. And maybe just putting a street side and flipping it around would be good. Ooh, first home constructed. These 2-story medieval homes. They look lovely. You know, I just wish there was more variance with this set. But the quality of them are very high, and it's very impressive to have a building that nice in Banished. That's a sawmill. This is brickworks. Homeware supply store. And I might be able to fit that right in here too. And then building suppliers look nice because they do kind of add to that dock feel. They're a little bit of a warehouse like item. So I'm gonna try and just line it up, say, at this corner, which will look nice. Now, do I do a water sawmill or a standard sawmill? I'm actually thinking more of a standard one. Kind of just bump it against the road. Okay. Charcoal burners. I don't think we're gonna need that since we have the other thing. Where is it? Where did it go? Yeah, there it is. So I need to flatten out 3 by 4 or so. So let's grab this tool. We'll go out a little bit more, just to make sure we kind of can get around the structure and over to the front side. Which it kind of feels like I can't, but I'll have to wait and see if that was just a placement error on my part. So let's try this again. We need the ladder. Yeah, I think that was a 100% a placement error on my part there. So we can do a stone road. Just kind of like that. And then we can add the in bits on here. Now, I don't know if this is actually increasing the productivity of the item or what. I just know it makes it look really nice. Kind of makes it look dug in. How did that get messed up? Like everything lined up except for that one corner. I don't get it half the time. Oops. Replace that then. It's wood cutters. It's this ramp, right? Yes. So just like that. And then we go ahead and finish kind of the roadway off to the side and around. Yep. Just like that. Now, storage-wise, for resources, we might need some of this, like small covered areas. And these do the job nicely, and I might even be able to kind of alternate them behind some buildings to kind of make it look like they're small additions. You know? Something like that. And I might try and wall these in to make some gardenish space. Not quite sure yet with that, though. We need a lot more construction workers. We're gonna bump it up to 20. Just so some things can get built a little quicker. Now, we're gonna be burning through a decent amount of resources. Whenever you do a large expansion like this, this is pretty much to be expected. Like that. That'll look good. Oh wow, this construction phase looks pretty proper. You can see a lot of the supporting beams for the little balcony area and the upper floor and how it kind of juts out. Lovely. Don't need anything worship-wise, I don't think, for this area. I might add a bit of a water tower. See if I can kind of etch that in here. It's like a little back street detail. And I need to find a home that can fit this spot. This will be a little challenging, I think, to find something that narrow. Because it can only be too wide with a road piece. But we might be able to find something. Nope. Even this like Perry stone hovel is Not really working out for us. Maybe in the water set, it might be... I know these are very small and they technically can fit. Might look a little bit more like storage than a home though. But I might actually like these small buildings back in here in general to kind of seal in the square a bit. Bit of room there and here, but that might look okay. So we like this little slummy back area, just kind of surrounded by a little bit of a taller building set, so we can get some things stacked on top of each other, which will look lovely. And we are about done with the real-time kind of planning of this. So what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish out this block, this bit of the shoreline. Maybe for this episode. I know I wanted to kind of get the whole thing laid out, but I don't think that's going to be possible in the time that we have. So this might be a two-parter to get this all laid in. With that, we'll be right back. And here we are, everyone. This is the current state of affairs. A lot of the homes are finished here at this stage. Not quite all of them. I didn't have time to sit here and let it build up, but I'll let that happen kind of in between episodes. So far, it's looking pretty good. It's about as dense as I'd like it. I would say there's some disconnect in terms of theming here and there, but you know, I think that's just kind of the limit of you know, obviously having so many mods. They're not all going to mix and match exactly right, but for the most part, I would say this looks pretty accurate to what I envisioned, right? You know, we get a few row kind of homes and stuff, and I really like these ones. You know, these large townhouse and small townhouse. They're actually part of the same set that gives you the village townhouse items. But they're just a little bit darker, really plain looking, you know, something that you might find just lining the streets somewhere. So these look great. I might end up replacing these village ones with more of these, just because these ones kind of stand out a little bit. They're a little too bright and a little bit more of a yellow color than a dark stone or dark wood that I'm kind of doing throughout this area. Adding some back kind of fences just to fill in some gaps. We're gonna get some details along the water side, be that carts, wagons, boxes, or even sub lower pier type areas that'll get kind of developed over time, right? Because you know, we want some piers to kind of jet off the quay in a way, and we got some wooden stuff being formed over on this side, right? So overall, pretty well balanced. You know, our unique buildings definitely look unique in the area. I think definitely replacing these long term is going to be for the best. Not quite still weighing my options through the industrial area. So if you guys have something you want me to focus on, definitely let me know. Be that like shipwright stuff, whaling, you know, some actual large ship docks. That could be cool. Down through this area, we could also have the option to move some industrial stuff up top too. I just don't want anything to really impede too much on the river, in a way, right? We want to kind of hug that as much as possible. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are enjoying the channel, definitely subscribe for more creative goodness such as this. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell me how your guys' stuff is going in Banished if you're playing alongside me. And I'll see you all in the next video.